Hello, people. I am here today to tell you what a furry is, or actually, that I am a furry. Not what a furry is, because that will be a different video. Today, I am here to say I am a furry, and what that means to me is that, well, I like dragons a lot. Some will agree that that's a little too much, but I don't think that it is. You see, my mother had me tested, so I'm not completely crazy. And furries are not crazy people. Furries are a fandom. Of the furry fandom is a fandom that's a little more ostracized for its peculiarity. So a furry is a person who identifies themselves with an anthropomorphic creature, which means an animal who has human features. So these animals can be fantastic, like dragons, not real life, like dogs, wolves, squirrels, or made up, like Pokemon or what have you. So furries are ostracized because people think that, oh, you're a furry, you're into bestiality, but that's not really the case. Not for everybody. I'm not saying that it's not the case for anybody, but it's not the case for most people in the fandom. Now, people in the fandom, like me, uh, we tend to develop this version of the ideal self, the person that we want to be, the person we want to become, the person that has all these characteristics that are the best versions of us, and they just happen to wear an animal skin. Mine happens to be a dragon. His name is Ghost, and whenever I channel Ghost, I'm my most outgoing, charismatic, happy self, because that's what I think Ghost is. Ghost is my best self. It's who I can be when I'm at my best. Not boring old me, or not boring, but I am a flawed individual, and I am not my best 100% of the time. But whenever I channel Ghost, or whenever I see myself as Ghost, I am all of those things without having to worry about the everyday problems that I deal with. Um, Many people think that furries are strange, and honestly, who isn't strange in today's world? It's a different way to cope with life. Now, there's different levels of furries. There are furries who are just in the fandom to be in the fandom, um, which is people who just like the attention of being furries, and there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's people who take it into a psychological level, like myself. There's also people who take it into a deeper level, into a spiritual level, where they they use this persona, this fursona, to cope with spiritual matters, and there's everything in between. So I fall in the category of people who just use this as a coping mechanism, because I deal with depression, because I deal with anxiety, because I deal with PTSD and all this stuff. So Ghost is a coping mechanism for me. Hope Ghost helps me get through the worst times of my life. Hope Ghost helps me be a better me. Now, does that make me weird? Yeah, a little. But I'm not necessarily the most normal person in the world. And honestly, why would I want to be normal? Um, I don't have a drawn version of Ghost. I only have a mental version of Ghost, which doesn't make it any less valid for people who actually have drawn out their personas, or people who have commissioned it. But I have a mental picture of it, and I have an idea of what he is or what I am. Um, Ghost also likes to wear hats, just like I do. That's another thing. Um, the personas tend to take um, characteristics of the person who built them, like quirks, accents, um, hats. So a furry is, for me, in my opinion, a coping mechanism. That is not the case for everybody. That is not the case for all furries. That is the case for me. And every person in the fandom is going to have a different definition of what a furry is and what a furry means to them. But this is what it means to me. It means that I can connect with the best self that I can be. It means that I can get through the darkest moments. It means that I can help myself through this persona, through Ghost. And if that makes me look weird in some people's eyes, I'm perfectly okay with that, because ultimately it's my personal growth, it's my coping skills, it's who I am, and I'm not afraid to say it. I wanted to make this video to tell people, hey, furries are not all just degenerate animal lovers. There's more to it. Just like there's more to anything you can think is odd. If you haven't noticed by my trend of videos, everything about me is odd. I'm I'm the odd one out, and I'm okay with that. And I love my oddities, and I love me for being weird. Thank you for your time.